Hello, my audience. My name's Jake Allen Graham for my new viewers. I'm the one who makes these videos and does the reviews on stuff. Today I'm doing a review on 2005 Fox film Fantastic Four review from 2005 era. The first installment by Fox Universe. That's the one with Michael Chiklis, Chris Evans, and Jessica Alba, and that guy, I figured the guy who plays Mr. Fantastic, and that guy from Nick Tuck that plays Dr. Doom is in this movie. Now, I thought this was as good as the Michael Keaton's 1989 Batman flick, which in my opinion is the best Batman flick next to the Robert Pattinson's Batman flick for the solo Batman live-action movies. Now, there's a good thing and a bad thing with that. The good thing is as good as the Michael Keaton's Batman movie, but also has some of the disadvantages like the Michael Keaton's Batman movie. Like, it felt like it was cut short of a movie with the plot. The plot felt like it was cut short. Not necessarily in terms of spectacle or action, but just in terms of making common sense in terms of the narrative, what the story was told. Felt like it could have benefited from a director's cut, if there ever was one for the Batman flick with Michael Keaton, the first one, or the Fantastic Four film with Michael Chiklis, the first one. Could have benefited from a director's cut. Like Batman v Superman benefited from a director's cut. And it's called the Ultimate Cut of Batman v Superman. So, because I just feel like this movie felt a little bit good enough to think I like this as a fan of the characters, to say this is a good enough fun movie, but I felt like it was a little very short of a movie in terms of story. Making sense of everything. Pacing wise, because it felt kind of rushed, it felt like it was rushly. It felt like it felt like those pieces of the movie that could have been. I felt like we were missing a lot of deleted scenes. I felt like that could have made sense of the movie story wise. Was pacing issues. Felt like maybe or may not will ever see a director's cut of this movie. I don't know. But it was a fun movie while it was worth it as a fan of the Fantastic Four characters. I give it an 8 out of 10. Like Michael Keaton's Batman flick. I'm going to give it 8 out of 10 in a separate video. And talk about that at a separate time. Because I like that Batman flick a lot. And I like the writing and the characters dynamic in the first one. I like how there was no unnecessary drama in the first one. And which can't be said for the sequel. Felt like they went for forcing drama. Like Fantastic Four breaking out a dilemma, you know? Which was stupid. Also stupid how they made Fantastic Four Galactus character look a cloud. Fucking unoriginal looking of an idea to make Galactus look like a fucking cloud. Wow. Ooh, that's scary. Not. How's that less scary than what he looks like in the comics? It's even more stupid looking than what he looks like in the comic version. Granted, like, I'm just saying, and this is someone who I'm a fan of the characters, I'm just saying, Galactus might look silly, like he's a menacing villain, but, I'm just saying, you know, they didn't improve it by making him into a cloud. If they thought they were doing that, which crazy thought that. Yeah, they love to go improving it by making it more serious, by toning down, by not putting the iconic look from the comics. They make it into a cloud. A fucking cloud. Space cloud. Wow. That's stupid. I give the sequel a 7 out of 10. It's fun. It's a good guilty pleasure watch in my book. But it's just retarded as fuck. Granted, I'm glad they got the same cast to reprise their role, but what they gave them was absolute total horseshit garbage. You know, I felt the first one was rushed. This one was just a dumb script. The Rise of the Silver Surfer sequel. The Silver Surfer was cool. I got a cool performance from the Surfer and all, portrayal of the Surfer. But the rest was this New Light stuff was this shit, you know? How the, it's just, why did the government thought it was a good idea to trust Doctor Doom? Because he's human again? And Surfer cured him? Why? And the backfires on them. And Fantastic Four saw this coming and didn't want to work with him. In the plot of the Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer sequel to 2005. This is stupid. And all of a sudden, he has a castle now in Latveria, is where this guy finds him, in Latveria. And Rise of the Silver Surfer, he ends up in Latveria Castle. At Latveria before making his way back home with the Four in New York City. After his encounter with the Surfer that turned him human, reverse his powers effect. So he no longer needs the Doctor Doom mask. So that's more reason why he can actually just show off his actual actor's face. Something that we don't care about as fans of the characters. We don't want to see the guy's face. We want to see him in the Doom fucking mask. Fuck this movie. This is stupid. I hate that they cured Doom, and I hate that they got rid of the masses. It pisses me fucking off. Stupid writing. And still, I enjoy it as a guilty pleasure. 2007 Rise of the Silver Surfer. I give it a 7 out of 10. It was a good guilty pleasure standard crap you expect from Marvel Studios to put out these days. And do. To this day. By Marvel Studios, they with their own canon timeline with the 616 universe in live action universe of the MCU canon timeline. You know, it's Marvel Cinematic Universe, standing for MCU. And that's why I give the Fox era with Michael Chiklis, the old two Fantastic Four movies, a review on both of them. I give the first one an 8 out of 10, the second one a 7 out of 10. And the first one gets an 8 out of 10. For me. You can just skip the sequel, though. It'll just let you down. Even if you're a fan of the comics or a fan of the movies, if you're a fan of the comics or the fan of the 2005 movie of the first one, and have a soft spot for the first one, but they'll just be let down by the sequel. It'll destroy you. Expectations of a fan of the movie of the first one and a fan of the characters from the comics and the shows. The sequel just destroys all your expectations for it being good, for the brand being good again. Really tank the brand. And the reboot didn't help by Fox. Alright, from 2014 or 15 when it came out. I give that a 7 out of 10 as a good guilty pleasure to watch. That's my review on it. The reboot by Fox. I give it a 7 out of 10 as a guilty pleasure. Dumb, retarded, fun, retarded nonsense. That's my review on Fox Fantastic Four movies. All three of them by Fox Studios. And why I made a video on this. Fantastic Four movies. And, I'm now going to talk about the 1994 Roger Corman unreleased Fantastic Four movie that I found that got leaked on YouTube. And I saw the whole thing on YouTube. You can find it streaming for free in YouTube, at least when I watched it. Maybe you can still may have to pay for it now. I don't know. What's the deal now? Update on that. Everyone wants to say play. I didn't play this recently this week, so it's played sometime in the past of watching it. Roger Corman's Fantastic Four, I give it 8 out of 10. The same score I give the 2005 one at 8 out of 10. Yes, the Roger Corman one and the 2005 one is the best Fantastic Four movie so far in live action. I think the 2005 one's a little better than the Roger Corman one from 1994 that he directed and put out and didn't release to the public and didn't tell the cast apparently about this. Great story about this movie. Very interesting, I found. The story behind what in off the scene set, what went on set and what he didn't tell the cast. That started in the Fantastic movie that he made that didn't release to the public physically or to theater. But somehow we got it leaking on the internet, the whole movie, and it was pretty good, I thought. For a low-budget movie, and for a story of a low-budget movie, and cast was pretty solid. I thought the dynamic was there, like it was there in the 2005 one. But I think the 2005 was a little better because 2005 one had a budget. Even though I thought the dynamic was as good as the Roger Corman one, I just think the 2005 one was a little better. Mostly because I thought the script was as good as the Roger Corman one. It's the story, but I felt like because it had budget, it had more of an experience to bring it had more of the opportunity to bring the action of the comics to life and bring the comic experience to life. Is what I think why it was better. Not just because it was a better script, but I thought it was as good a script as Roger Corman's one. Roger Corman's one could have been even more impressive if they had a budget for that movie, but they didn't. Or if they released it with finished effects and if they released it with finished effects and a budget, but they didn't ever do that, right? So and somehow they got leaked online. Somehow you can find it now in YouTube and other website streaming service. Now, supposedly, by far watching it on YouTube for free. It was a fun movie. Very exciting for a comic book fan very exciting for a fan of comics, like the 2005 one was. For me, very paced well. And it was fun. Would I prefer? It been a better story, yeah, but but then again, I prefer the 2005 one be a better story of the four. But I don't hate either stories for Roger Corman's or 2005 ones. I just felt the stories felt kind of rushed for some reason. Both stories in Roger Corman's one and the 2005 one, like Batman was Michael Keaton's era, felt rushed. Both of them to me, Returns and Batman with Michael Keaton. Felt rushed to me of a movie. Pacing wise, it felt like it had issues with pacing. It felt like they edited too much out of the movie. But that's just a guess. That's how I felt like, I was jumbled around. Was the Batman movie franchise with Michael Keaton and Val Kilmer. I felt like I had the same problem. But I felt like it was more noticeable with Val Kilmer because his Batman was the first time in cinematic history where Batman, since Adam West, where Batman's the main focus of his own movie and live action. Keaton wasn't the main focus of his own Batman movies. That was it was more of a villain's perspective was his era of Batman. And Batman, his character stayed more in the shadows, revealed himself less, but that was more of Burton's intention. So I don't really have a problem with that. I just wish it was longer of a movie, his movies, was Batman. Like, I wish he made a director's cut of both his Batman movies, okay? Because I like the movies a lot. But I felt like they were kind of short. It's conflicting for me. I wish it was longer, but I liked it for what it was. Short but sweet. Like a cupcake topping with the frosting. Like if you only have the frosting, like for me, I only have the frosting on cupcakes. So, but I find that the best part of a cupcake. Because I normally eat that. Makes sense? But the point is, I normally watch these movies for fun. The Batman movies, like the Fantastic Four movies, the first two ones I reviewed. Roger Corman's in 2005, I talked about in this movie review. I gave both a 8 out of 10. And I'm going to talk about Michael Keaton's Batman movies. And the Val Kilmer ones. And the George Clooney one. I'm going to review all 4 of them because they're part of the same Batman saga. Okay, I'm going to give Batman and Robin from 1997 a 7 out of 10 as a fine guilty pleasure. I kind of agree with he's a shitty Batman. George Clooney, but I enjoyed the movie because of the flaws and how it's hilarious. The movie fucked it up. That's why I like it as a guilty pleasure, as because of how much it fucked up the brand in an amazing, creative way. Hilarious, like a uncomedic practical joke it played on itself. It really played itself to me. Forgot what you should do as Batman. Instead of focus on the story, you focus on the marketing with the toys. And it backfired. Thank God. And course correct was Batman Begins. But not that much. I see Batman Begins as the same level of quality, a guilty pleasure, 7 out of 10, because it just didn't make a whole lot of sense, the story, to me. Made even less sense than the Batman and Robin story. But it was a bad movie overall. Batman Begins, from 2005, starring Christian Bale and Liam Neeson as the villain. Race. I forget his last name. It's pronounced. First name's Race in the movie. That Liam Neeson plays in Batman Begins. That's the villain's name. And, I give Batman Begins a 7 out of 10. Batman and Robin a 7 out of 10. Batman Forever, 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 I give Batman and Forever. And Batman Returns, Batman, 1989. All first 3 Batman movies in the Batman franchise. The original one in live action franchise, a 8 out of 10. I liked all of them, first 3, but they felt kind of short. Rushed, in other words. Edited oddly. In places, here and there. Just maybe raised too many questions about the pacing of why it felt short than it needed to be. Also, I did like... And I love the visuals and the acting and the cast and the crew in the movie that brought these characters to life in the Batman movies. The first 3 ones was Michael Keaton and Val Kilmer. The first 3 I loved a lot. I give them an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed them a lot. To give them that much of a final verdict. And that's my review on the Batman movies and the Fantastic Four movies in this video. That I'm going to be talking about those only. Those ones. 5. Batman movies and the 4 Fantastic Four movies that I made on. 1 was an independent film, 3 was by Fox Studios. And, that's my thoughts on Fantastic Four movies and the Batman movies I talked about. I hope you enjoyed this review. I did enjoy making it. And subscribe to my content to grow my subscribers, please. And hit the thumbs up to like this video. Hit the comment section. Feel free to comment below if you want to, if you have any thoughts to share. And goodbye, my audience.